お父さんが運転してた車が事故を起こして。
君はそれをどう処理する
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Horror! Rainbows from Hell, episode number 23. 23, my goodness. Time is racing like the wind, and our execution is near. And oh, Lord, I wait for death, and yes, I have no fear. Okay, enough Megadeth quotes. So, tonight, after last night's wonderful episode where I watched the movie Zoo, the anthology that kept on giving, and kept on giving and giving and giving, and then confused the hell out of you with that last one. But I thought, you know what? I picked up a Blu-ray a couple months ago. It's a special edition. It's a collector's edition. It's a remaster edition of one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. I know there are some great ones like Zombie and Day, Dawn, and Night of the Living Dead. And the Dawn of the Dead remake is actually not that bad. And, of course, you have The Beyond, and, you know, there's one that you don't necessarily see thrown out too often. No, it is. The true horror fan does know about this and loves this film. But yet, you watch some of the casual scum, and you're like, they forgot about it for some reason. Probably because its sequels were just god-awful. Except 3, I could stand 3. Everything else was pretty piss poor. What is the movie that I'm talking about? Well, of course you read the freaking title of this video, so you already know. So what am I waiting for? It's Return of the Living Dead. This movie is awesomeness raised from the dead. Yes, this is sort of a non-official sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Anyways, it is, according to the opening, based on actual events. Yeah, right. So this movie is in a world where Night of the Living Dead was a movie based on real events, but was all changed up because George A. Romero didn't want to get his ass sued to death by the military. So, we are in Louisville, Kentucky, and there is a sort of medical supply warehouse. And this guy, young guy, is getting his sort of orientation. It's his first day on the job. And they're showing him around all the stuff. And, of course, the one guy, he's worked there for years. He's all like, hey, want to hear a creepy story? No, the guy did ask him what was the weirdest thing he's ever come across here. And so he's like, he told him a story. It's like, you ever see Night of the Living Dead? It's based on a true story. And they took all the reanimated corpses and put them in these containers. And, of course, a regular, good old-fashioned USA military fuck-up had the shipments all mismatched, and they got their hands on some. So, of course, he's like, you want to go see them? He's like, yeah, of course. So, they take him down in the basement, and lo and behold, there they are. He wipes off the top, and you see like this just gross, disgusting corpse. And the guy's like, oh man, there's no chance this thing can leak. He's like, hell no, this is made by the Army Corps of Engineers. And he bangs it, psh, of course. all kinds of gases flow out, and they get infected, and everything inside the wonderful medical warehouse is infected. They have like half dogs, for veterinary research. They're all like alive, and of course they had a fresh cadaver who is now all brains, and of course, they're freaking out, and so they decide, well, we got to deal with this wonderful dead reanimated body. So what they do in the movie? Oh yeah, right. They killed it. They got its brain. So they're like, well, we're gonna like totally brain this son of a bitch. So they open up the door to the freezer. He comes running out. They grab him. They take a pickaxe right into the brain, and my God, he's still not dead. He's still wiggling around. They take a saw, chop off his head, and the body comes up and starts moving around and stuff. It's like, wait, that's not, it worked in the movie. Well, it's not working now. Of course, because that was just a fucking movie. This is reality. And so they tie up the body, cut it into pieces. Now, so we got to get rid of all the evidence. So they decide to go to their friends across the street at of course, cemetery. And there's a funeral parlor. And it's funny. The name of the name of the cemetery is Resurrection Cemetery. Anyways, so they go to his friend, the owner of the warehouse. He's got a friend who works at the mortuary, and they're gonna have them burn up the dead remains and get rid of all the evidence. Well, unfortunately for them, the gaseous embers of the burning process get into the atmosphere, and then all of a sudden rain comes down, soaks up the cemetery, and that reanimates all the dead people, and we got ourselves a bona fide zombie apocalypse happening right in Louisville, Kentucky. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. And really, that's the basic plot of the movie. Sure, we got also this side story about these friends of the guy who's starting on his first day at that medical warehouse, and they're bored because they want to pick him up because they think he's going to know where's some good place to party. So they decide to break into the cemetery and, hang out to kill the time. Of course, they get caught up in the zombie apocalypse, and they get all split off, and it's just kind of a crazy fight for survival where paramedics are called, police are called, and then people are getting eaten. So, well, actually, no, not eaten, because this is the movie. This is the movie that popularized the whole zombies eat brains thing. Because beforehand, they were eating flesh. They were just going to tear your throat out and eat you up. But this one, no, they want your brains. Because why? Well, they actually capture one of the dead girls, and they ask her a bunch of questions. Because, when you got a dead chick, what else are you going to do? Just asking a bunch of questions like, hey, why are you eating people? I'm not eating people. I'm eating their brains. Oh, okay. Why just the brains? The pain of death. Brains make the pain go away. I don't know why. I'm not sure what dead dead biology, how that works. But I guess brains, that's the cure-all. So this is the one that actually popularized it. It exploded, and now you know why zombies eat brains. It's because of this dang movie. Anyways, so that's basically the plot. I don't want to talk about everything that goes on in this movie because it's crazy. This movie is kind of like a comical and horrific. It's a horror comedy before horror comedies were really a thing, and it's just wall-to-wall entertainment. The thing about it is, yeah, it's funny and it's kind of crazy at times, but it just feels so real. Like the people's reactions to this would be just what you would think real people would react. I mean, they're like freaking out when things go wrong. They're just like losing their minds, and there's no calm, collected, rational thoughts sometimes going on. And it's mayhem, and it's beautiful mayhem. So anyways, let's get to those scores. Violence and gore, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Brain eaten is always a plus. There's lots of death going on, lots of attacks. Sure, not as graphic as some other zombie movies out there, but still, the nasty effects of the first one that was in the canister, just all disgusting and slimy and skin melting and stuff like that, was beautifully done. The part where they have the half dead girl and they're asking her questions, just wonderful practical special effects, and it's just wonderful. So man, big score, 4 out of 5. Shock value, 2 out of 5. Sure, there's not really a lot of scares in this, not a lot of jump value, shock value in that, but the violence and just the stuff that goes on kind of like hits you, and so I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 there. Acting, 3 out of 5. Now, the main characters do a wonderful job. I like their performances. It's just some of the outlying characters are kind of ridiculous. The girl who is named Suicide, she's really kind of monotone, and I guess maybe that's supposed to be her character, but that kind of was a little bit weird. And just some of the zombies acting was just a little bit stupid. Send more cops. I don't know. I can't really give it like perfect scores because yes, there was some ridiculousness in the acting, but I'm giving it a solid 3 out of 5. Plot, 3 out of 5, even though it really hinges on the fact that a storm system comes through, because if it doesn't start raining, then the movie ends with them burning the bodies, and the zombies don't come from the cemetery soaked with the acid rain of the infected gas. So, yeah, that's a bit of a plot hole, but everything else, it feels so, like, down to earth and real. It's ridiculous, yet it feels like this is what people would do in this situation, and it's great. It's great. So 3 out of 5. Nudity, it's a 5 out of 5. Once again, I'm going to talk about that girl, Suicide. She's basically naked in the entire movie. She wears clothes for like 5 seconds at the beginning, and then for some reason she just needs to strip off. Because it's 1980s, man! It's the 1980s! And you have to have nudity in your horror movie. Otherwise, you get thrown in prison. It's the truth, man. Look it up. It's the law. Anyways, so yeah, like practically every scene she's in, it's just, TNA, TNA, and TNA. So, yeah, chock full of that. So, let's get down to the enjoyment factor. I am giving it a 5 out of 5. This movie is one of those movies where you're just watching it and you're just having so much fun and you don't even like feel the time go by. And then when it's over, you're like, no, it was actually pretty awesome. I love it. And man, the sequels were such a drag. It's so bad because the movie is just like, I guess they caught lightning in the bottle because everything worked so well in this movie and I enjoyed it so thoroughly. So a 5 out of 5. My overall impression is a 4 out of 5. Yes, there's some problems with the acting, some problems with the plot, but overall, very good, very solid movie. One of the best zombie movies out there. The Return of the Living Dead, and the average of all that is 3.7 out of 5, which is probably one of the higher averages you will get on this channel. So there you have it. The Return of the Living Dead, the iconic, the classic, the awesome, the fun. Get a bunch of friends together, get some pizza, get some beers, get some shots, whatever. Watch the movie and have a lot of fun. It is a quintessential type 80s horror movie where it's just violence and nudity and gore and fun and it just, it's what is so cool about horror movies. Yes, you can get the really dark, serious stuff that erodes your soul, and you can also have the fun, popcorn munching, have fun with the friends, and just enjoy yourself and get lost in the fun of the movies. So there you have it. Episode 23 in the books. This basically means a week to go. Basically a week to go starting tomorrow. And until then, internet, try to stay dead. Ah.